So hello everybody and welcome to today's video. And in today's video we are in the calf shed, just making sure they're drinking. So we've currently got in here 2 Frisian heifer calves in that pen. And then in this pen we've got 2 Frisian heifer calves and a short-horn heifer calf. But what we're going to do in this video is, well, if you haven't already seen, well, I didn't video much of it, but we mucked this shed out the other day because we had to move around. So what we did was, there's normally calf pens up that wall side. That's why there's a heat lamp. There's normally calf pens up this side here. But we mucked it out and there currently is no calf pens because we haven't had any Frisian heifer calves. And what we need to do is, we've actually had a lot of beef calves born in the last week, 10 days. And what we normally do is, heifer calves come in here and we feed them, and then beef calves stay on the cow. But because there's too many beef calves for the amount of nurse cow rearing setup we've got, so beef calves we normally leave to nurse cow. We have a cow in the shed and the beef calf lives on the cow. But there's too many beef calves, so what we're going to do is, we're going to bring a ruck of beef calves in here and pen them up that wall side to basically like emergency housing, basically, so, because there's too many beef calves. We don't want beef calves suffering because we're not getting enough milk. So we're going to bring them in here and feed them. So we'll do with them what we do with the heifer calves, which is feed them milk rather than the cow feed them. So yeah, we're going to set up some pens. So we'll do that in a bit. So stay tuned and we'll crack on and do that. Right, so I'm not sure how well you can see this because it's near long. Today's the longest day of the year, the 21st of December. So, daylight hours are a bit down. But we're in the shed now with the calving cows. And this is where all our beef calves are at the minute. Well, all but 6. There's 6 in another shed, but I think there's 14 in here now because actually 2 have calved this morning, so... Well, I'll say this morning, in the night. So we've got another Angus that's appeared in the night and a Frisian bull calf. So 14 calves in here is too much, really. Especially when I think there's 2 more in here that haven't actually calved yet. So I'll turn the camera around now and you can just see the calves. There's one Angus calf, there's another one there. There's a few sat round the back of that cow. And there's some more up here. Right, so hello, we are back. So had some breakfast, we've done our jobs. So we're back in the calf shed, as you can see. Well, see JCB, see the calves now. So if anyone's wondering, the JCB actually lives in here at the minute. Well, it has done all summer, to be honest. But yeah, it's just where it lives. So what we're going to do is, up this side is where we're going to put the calves. So I'll just flip the camera around, you can see. So here's current pen of calves. There's 3 there, a short-horn heifer calf, and 2 Frisian heifer calves, and then 2 more Frisian heifer calves in there. And then we have this side of the shed. So what we try and do is we try and keep them up on that, above that concrete, because it's a bit drier up there. Obviously there's JCB stuck in the way at the minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a hurdle across from here, 1 from there, make a square pen there, make another pen here, so there'll be 1, 2, and then we'll make 3, 4, so there'll be 4 pens. So what I need to do is, I can make this one here without moving the JCB, but then I'll have to move the JCB to do the rest. So yeah, we'll make 1 pen up, and then we'll move the JCB in bits and go from there. Right, so we've made one pen up, you can see. Now I am going to have to move the JCB now to make the other pens up. So we'll have one pen here, another here, one there, and a big one in the corner. The 6 foot hurdles I'll make it up with. And what I'll do is I'll make them up and then I'll go and get some straw and put them in. And then, well, obviously I'll move some calves after that. But yeah, we'll crack on. Right, so we've made us calf pens up. It's got a pen there, that's a big pen. So that's got 8 foot hurdles across the front and back. Whereas these are 6 foot hurdles. So that's obviously a bigger pen, so that could house. We could probably put like 4 calves in there, 3 or 4 calves, and they'd be alright. But what we're going to do is, we'll leave that pen as it is for now. We're going to put a calf in there, a couple in each of these 2 pens. And yeah, hopefully. Oh, but first what we'll do is we'll get some straw in the JCB bucket and just tip it in. So we'll do that first. Right, so we're about ready for some calves now. So we've bedded them all up. So I've had 2 buckets of straw. Out the JCB, which is just there. So what we need to do now is go and find some calves. So I'm thinking put 2 in each of these 2 pens. Maybe one in the corner, because it's got the water trough in. So that water trough there, it used to be one when we used to have the one big pen for the calves, but now we have individual pens. Because it just works a bit better, a bit one-on-one treatment for each calf. So there's only like 2 calves in the pen, and you're trying to learn them to suck. It's easier when there's just 2 rather than like 10. But yes, they're all looking good now. We've got 4 pens. Because I can actually split this pen in 2 if I want, this big pen. This big pen's got 2 8-foot hurdles instead of 6. I've got a spare hurdle here, so you can see that. There. I can put down the middle of it and split that pen in half if I wanted to make it individual pens, but for now it's alright the way it is. So what we need to do now is we'll get the tractor and transport box and we'll let some calves in that box and bring them round. Right, so we've Moss's calf moved in. So we've got 3 pens of 2. I don't know what there are, if they're bulls or heifers just yet. We'll sort that out when we register them. But I know which cows are off. But yeah, these have all been born in the last, I'd say the last, probably last 4 or 5 days. Yeah, so what's left to do now is, we need to tag them up. I won't video that, doing that, but I might tag them up tomorrow. We'll just try and get them to drink some milk tonight and tomorrow morning, then tag them tomorrow. But the reason we don't normally do this, we normally leave them with a cow and then tag them then, there and then register them, and then they get sold off the cow. But we're having a run of beef calves at the minute. Quite a lot of beef calves, so, and it's Christmas in a few days, so we need to get these calves, we need to do as best by them and look after them when there's a lot of calves being born. So that's what we're going to do. Now offering them some calf starter feed. So that's basically a mix of various different things, but it's good for baby calves. It's designed for baby calves. So they'll get this as well as milk. We don't offer them water yet, just purely because we want them to drink milk, not water. If they're drinking water, they're filling their stomachs up with water, so they're not drinking milk. That's only the way I do it. They'll get offered water when they're about a few weeks old. But yeah, just on pellets, and they'll be on milk later tonight. Right, so we've not done particularly well there. So we've only got him that's lying down asleep there. Well, chilling, not asleep. That'll drink any milk. So out of 6, 5 won't drink. So we'll try again in the morning. But all they've got is a bit of corn as well. So what we'll do is, they've not got anything other than a bit of corn to eat. So what we'll do is, tomorrow, hopefully they'll get a bit hungrier and they'll want some. So yes, we've got 1 out of 6 drinking, but hopefully they'll be hungry by the morning because they've all been on the cow until dinner time today, so about 12 o'clock-ish. So there's every chance that they had a feed off their mums this morning. But yeah, we'll try again in the morning. So what's left to do is we'll just drench them for crypto now, and then that's it. So this is the stuff we drench them with. This stops them getting scours. Well, oral solution for calves. Basically, it stops them getting a very common type of scour. So we'll just give them that, and then we're done with them for the night. So we're 2 days after we moved them into here. You can see they've all got tags in now. We've got them all drinking, and one thing you will notice is there's an empty pen there. We've got an ill Frisian bull calf that was in there, one of them cows. So this is what we're trying to avoid happening, is that it was getting robbed of milk. If they'd be quiet a minute. It was getting robbed of milk and weren't getting enough milk off the cow. So we brought it in here, put it under the heat lamp, which is there. It's just lying in the corner of the pen, which is away from the heat lamp. But he's not been 100%, mainly because I think he's just not going to be getting enough milk. So we brought him in here. So all the Anguses now are split between 2 pens. So there's 2 in this pen, and a smaller pen. And the big pen on the end, we've got 4 of them. So them 4 Them 4 are all drinking fine. Them 2 are a little bit slow, so we left them on their own. What we're going to do is we're going to bed them up now. He's been there for a couple of days now. And then the pen in the corner, the other corner, we're going to bring a couple more Anguses in around the cows. So we're going to end up with, well, we're probably bring 3 or 4 in, I think. More Anguses. So we're going to end up with 10 Anguses. So this entire video is mainly because we've got a bit strong on with calving cows. We've had a lot of calves born. And these calves aren't ready to be sold yet because they're only like a week old. A week, 10 days. So we would normally leave them on the cow, and this shed's normally for heifer calves. Frisian dairy heifer calves. Which are still in here, just there on that side of the shed. And the JCB just parks in the middle of the shed, where the floor's lower. But there, I'm basically dairy farmer turned beef farmer now for all these Anguses. So yeah, we're going to bed them up now and then put some more bring some more Anguses in. Right, so we've moved with calves. We've got 2 Anguses that are in that pen now. So they're fresh off the cow. And then we've got a Frisian bull, which has joined the Frisian bull in very well. So yeah, we're full up now in here. So we've got 2, 4, 6. We've got 10 calves in here now. 10 beef calves. So just we don't normally do this for beef calves. We normally, beef calf stays on the cow for like 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks tops, and then after that they're sold when they're a nice big and chunky calf. The problem we've got is we've got a lot of beef calves being born at the minute. It's Christmas in a few days' time. By the time you see this video it might have already been Christmas, but even the Christmas and New Year, so there's no markets to sell them at. And not only that, one thing I do know is not many people like, beef farmers, calf rearers, like rearing calves over Christmas because it's an extra job. A job that they'd rather be having time off over Christmas. Last thing they'd want is more beef calves to be rearing. So, which isn't a problem for me. I don't mind doing it. It is adding time onto my day. It's adding probably like half an hour at each end of the day to look after these 10 calves. Rather than the alternative, which was leave them on the cow, but we hadn't got room to leave them on the cow. So what we normally do is the Frisian heifer calves, which are over there, normally come in here when they're about 3 or 4 days old, and then they're fed milk, and then they're moved into a bigger pen. So you've got pen of 2, and then you've got pen of 3, and they offer corn and hay and silage, and we've always done it like that, and it works perfectly fine. Beef calves, otherwise, we normally just leave them on the cow and let the cow feed the calf, if that makes sense. But you don't normally just leave one cow to one calf. You'll have one cow to like 3, maybe even 4 calves, and just do it that way, and then milk the cow when the calves are sold. But we've had some heifers calved, so these Anguses are off heifers. I might add. I think there's the odd one that's off a cow, but not. And there's not many, they're mostly off heifers. And the Frisian bull calves are actually off cows as well, so they were the male version of the Frisian heifer calves. So yeah, they're in here now. We're looking after them. We're doing best we can for them. And so we've just not had as many Frisian heifer calves born at the minute, which isn't a bad thing because I did have quite a lot of heifers coming through, but so we had more cows and heifers put to beef, so we ended up with more beef calves. But the problem we've got now, we've got more beef calves and we've got room to look after them, so they're in here now. But what we'll do with these calves is we'll register them. Well, they've already been registered then. These that are only a few days old, they need registering. But when they get to like 5 or 6 weeks old, we'll see what they're like. If they're fit to sell, we'll sell them. If they're not fit to sell, we'll rear them. So, dairy farmer turned beef farmer now, because I'll be then rearing beef calves. I've already got a couple of beef calves that I'm already rearing. So we've got an Angus in the other shed, and 2 twins, 3 Martins that you might have seen from a previous video. But yeah, so we might end up rearing 10 more beef calves. Well, that's only what's been born up to now. We've got more. There's 6 left on left on the cows in one shed, and then there's 6 more in the other shed. So that's 12. So 10 plus 12. What's that? That's 22 beef calves we've got at the minute, and it's it's the 22nd of December today. So yeah, got a lot of beef calves running up to Christmas. But yeah, we'll see what happens with these beef calves. If people want to see the outcome of what we do with these beef calves, let me know in the comments below. But for now, I'll leave this video here. And if anyone wants me to video the progress of these beef calves, I'm more than happy to do that. Let me know. But for now, if you've liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe below, please, as well, because I do appreciate that as well. So yeah, dairy farmer turned beef farmer now. Well, turned calf rearer, beef calf rearer. So yeah, see you in my next one. See ya, bye.